You heard of Nicodemus?
Yes.
Where'd you hear about him?
The priest.
The guy that is it the
Wait, one at a time? Okay.
is it the guy that asked Jesus is it the guy that asked Jesus a question and Jesus went to his house or something like that?
Okay.
Was Nicodemus the guy that asked Jesus how you could be born again?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you hear that before? You don't remember it. Zion, did you know that?
It was the priest, one of the Jewish, not Jewish,
Yeah, Jewish.
Jewish priest that was Jesus. He went to ask Jesus a question because he was curious about what he was saying. So he asked him about how can a man be born again?
That's right. Where do you find that in the Bible? Does anybody know? You remember the chapter?
John chapter 6. John chapter 3. John 3.
John 3,
John 3, yeah.
John 3. That's right. So, today what we want to show you is John chapter 3 in pictures. Okay? Did you ever see this before? Never? Okay, this is John, the Gospel of John chapter 3 in pictures. Okay. So, we should begin. Okay, Grace, you read the first one. The English is on the bottom.
John, verse 1. But there was a man from the Pharisees, Nicodemus, his name, a ruler of the Jews.
Okay, he was a Pharisee, like Zion said. He was one of the Jewish rulers.
Of Jews.
That's right, and it says he was a Pharisee, ruler of the Jews. And there you see him standing up, right? Mm-hmm. Looks like he's going somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we're going to see in the next verse where he went. Okay, you read the next one.
John chapter 3 verse 2. This one came to Jesus by night and said to him, Rabbi, we know that you have come as a teacher from God. For no one is able to do these signs which you do, except God be with him.
Right, and in the picture?
That's God and Nicodemus.
That's God.
And Nicodemus. Those are the disciples.
That's Jesus with the disciples.
And Nicodemus is kneeling down.
No, he's coming to him.
He's coming to him.
And you see it's dark.
Yes. It's in the night.
Why did he come at night?
Because the Pharisees didn't believe in Jesus. They didn't believe that he was the Son of God.
They believed in
So he was kind of sneaking away from the Pharisees because he was curious about Jesus. Okay.
I think he's coming to ask Jesus a question.
Okay. You guys show him the verse part.
Okay. Well, see the verse? See the verse, the picture?
Picture.
This is the verse.
Okay, what's the verse?
You see it?
Yes.
Who's going to read?
I'll read it. John chapter 3, verse 3. Jesus answered and said to him, Truly, truly, I say to you, if one is not generated from above, he is not able to see the kingdom of God.
Okay. And see in the picture? Jesus telling Nicodemus, if you're not generated from above, or sometimes it's translated born from above or born again, you can't see the kingdom of God. You need to be born of God to see his kingdom. Okay? And Nicodemus, if you can see in the picture, he's got like a startled look on his face. he was a very religious man, but he never heard about this, being born again. Okay.
Who wants to read? Diane.
John 3:4. Nicodemus said to him, how is a man able to be generated? Being old, he's not able to enter into his mother womb a second time and be generated.
Yeah.
So Nicodemus looks like, if you look close, he's like, how can this be? Right? How can this be?
Confused,
He
yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
understand.
He didn't understand, and he showed he didn't understand because he asked a silly question. How can a man who is old go back into his mother and be born again? Right?
Yes.
He didn't know, he only knew about the physical birth. He didn't know about spiritual birth. Okay? And look what Jesus said.
Can you see it first?
Yeah.
John chapter 3 verse 5. Jesus answered, truly, truly, I say unto you, if one is not generated out of the water and spirit, he is not able to enter into the kingdom of God.
What does that mean?
If one is not generated or out of water and out of the spirit, he cannot enter. See, it shows the children of God going into God's kingdom, right?
Yes.
Jesus said in order to enter into his kingdom, you need to be not only be born of the water, but also be born of the spirit. Do you know what that means?
Does
It means that
Dad,
to
you
live
have-
it means to live a new life, to turn away from the old ways you've been living before that was bad, and turn a new leaf and become a child of God.
He's talking about what is the symbolic
meaning of
of
water
that
and
water and the spirit? What
Does-
does it really represent?
Does the water mean being baptized, and does the spirit represent
Being born again.
When you're baptized, it's like they like to wash the old you, and they like when they bring you, yeah, like you're dying, and then they resurrect you. Like
Mhm.
that isn't like that's baptism.
So this is talking about being born or generated of water and then being generated a second time of the spirit. See, when you were born, when you were inside your mother, you were in water. And you were born of water. You were born physically, you came into the world. But that doesn't make you God's child. You need to be born a second time. You need to be born of the Spirit. And we're going to see in the next verse. Now, this is a really important one.
Yeah, Daniel.
That's 6 1.
What's this one say? Verse 5. Or verse, is it 5?
That's
6.
John chapter 3 verse 6. That having been generated out of the flesh is flesh, and that having been generated out of the spirit is spirit.
Okay, so there's two generateds. There's two generateds and two sides to this picture. What are the two sides?
flesh and the spirit?
That's right. And when you were generated of the flesh, you were born into the flesh. And if you're born of the spirit, then you are generated of the spirit, right? And do you see how there's
a lot of flesh.
There's a lot of flesh. That's right. And less over here, right? And there's a big what in the middle?
Like a
A little
little
gap, a big gap.
A big gap.
Or gas.
That's right. There's a distinct difference. Keep that in mind. Very important.
Plus, look at them. They're confused. They don't have. They're blind. One of the
Yeah, and
one of the flesh.
they're in darkness.
See, when you're born of the
Oh,
flesh, right?
one side is darkness and one side is light.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
See?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, look at Nicodemus. What's going on with Nicodemus?